Hey there, welcome to this Blender beginner friendly video. In this video, we're going to model this. If you are just getting started with Blender, this is going to be a fun experience for you because in this video, we're going to learn a specific technique of modeling that can be used to model any kind of cylindrical object in this whole world. So buckle up and let's get started. After starting Blender, you will have something like this. So if you have just opened Blender, this setup might look are pretty much unfamiliar to you because there are lots of tabs and everything is here and there, but trust me, this is gonna be not that difficult. So you can see my keystrokes here. So for zoom in, zoom out, you can just do a quick mouse scroll and then press the middle wheel to orbit and then press the shift and middle wheel to move around. So yes, that's the basic for our navigation. And firstly, what we are going to do is we are going to shoot that default cube. Just select it and press delete, and we are going to eventually delete them because as we don't need them for now on. So first thing first, before starting anything, we need to import our reference image. For this one, I will be using this as a reference. You can get this image in the description. To import our reference, let's go to the frontal view first. Let's go to front, shift a image and as reference. So yes, let's import our image. So one thing we need to do is we need to align it with the ground. Let's step down the opacity so that we can see through it. You can find the opacity option in the data tab and then opacity, and then I'm just going to align it just here. Okay, so to follow along with the entire video, you need to enable add-on. Let's go to Blender preferences, control plus this comma is the shortcut. Get to extension and just search for extra. You can see here that extra mesh object. You just need to install it. I have already installed it in my device. So yes, so after enabling that, you can see that if you go to the mesh, we have lots of extra options that won't be there if you haven't enabled the add-on. So we are going to add a single vertex. Okay, you can see this is our single vertex. We are in the edit mode already and we are in the vertex selection mode. So yes, so from here what we are going to do is we are going to trace one side of this object. So yeah, to trace it, let's press E to extrude. And as I'm going to extrude it along the x-axis, just press X. You can see the keystrokes here for your convenience. And then again another E. Just going to do a rough outline first, then we are going to do the fine tuning. So here you can see that this is the bottle cap, but there's a part that's going inside it. That's why we're going to extrude it a little bit more, so that we can go there. If I open the file, this is already done. So yes, you can see here that there is a part going inside and then this is a separate part. So if we come back to our project, we are going to do the same. Then again, E to extrude. So yes, this is basically our side angle. So I'm just going to hide this in the perspective view. So this is the tracing of our object. So here's the fun part. You just need to go to the modifier and then press Shift A, generate, and then there is a modifier called screw. Just apply it and boom, you can see that we already have the outline, but here you can see that there is a harsh edges there. We don't want this harsh edge because this is, if you see the reference image, there is a smoothness to it. So to make things smooth, we are going to add another modifier, which is subdivision surface. And then it's just gone weird because you can see that the previous shape and this is totally different. So what we need to do here is we need to add some more vertex so that it can calculate it out. Because now what is happening, it's just calculating the distance from this vertex to this vertex and then smoothing everything out. But we don't want that. We want to have a corner here. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to apply bevel. So as it's just a single vertex, you can't just press Ctrl B and bevel it. You need to press V also. Then you can see that we are having that bevel. So if you again go to the front view and going to the X-ray mode, and then I think this 3 should do good. So after subdividing it, you can see that there is a weird artifact here. Let's take a moment to understand it. This artifact is caused because of the misalignment or mismatchment of the normals. So how to see that if the normals are in the same orientation or not? Just go to viewport overlays and then enable the face orientation, and this is pretty much visible that you can see that for these polygons the normals are outwards, and for this one these are inwards. So let's take a moment to understand it. Suppose these are my two polygons. You can see that in one side it has color to it, and on the other side it has the power. It's like this is the back side and this is the front side. So in this case, let's think for a moment that this is the red side and this is the blue side. So when a blue side is upward and there is a red side, you can see there is a misalignment. They don't align properly, so that there is a crease here. You can see there is a harsh edge here because they doesn't match here. But what we need to do, we need to flip them so that they can be in the same orientation. So when they're in the same orientation, this won't happen. So let's get back to Blender and see how to fix it. So in the screw modifier, you can see there is an option called normals. Just go to normals and then calculate order. You just need to press this button, then it will automatically calculate the orders of that normals, and then they will flip it. Like suppose it was like that, it needs to flip this way, it will flip that, and it will maintain the consistency. You can also flip it so that the whole thing is red. Just you need to keep one thing in mind, that the color should be either red or blue, but the blue one is preferred. So yes, let's remove this overlay and let's get back to modeling. So yes, we have fixed this part. We need to add a corner here also. Again, Ctrl B and V. So yes, in the bottom side, to create a depth, let's add a segment here. Subdivide, go to here, and then let's just keep it inwards so that there is this on the bottom side. Okay. And to model the upper portion, let's hold this two and press Shift T to duplicate it. And let's keep it here. Okay. There is another thing here. There is another corner. So we need to add bevel here also to fix things out. So yes, it's pretty much looking good. Now just extrude it, and what we need to do here is we need to enable the merge option so that there is no gap here. It's already merged, and we just do need add a corner here. Okay, pretty much looking solid. And if we again go to the reference image, there is a portion which is like this. So to create it, it's pretty much same. Just add a vertex here, and then just G. This should do the work. And yes, let's add bevel here also. So yes, we got that on the upper portion, we got the bottle, and then we got this on the lower portion. And then now another thing, you can see there is a segment going through it, like it's showing that it has a segment through it. So we just need to do is let's press Ctrl R and take two vertex, and then let's align them. So what I'm basically doing here is just selecting that vertex, pressing G to enable the move option, and then just pressing the Z so that it only moves along the Z axis. So yes, it's pretty much fully aligned, and then we press it, and then we do a extrude inward. So the problem here is you can see that it's already extruded, but there is an edge here. So we just need to go to the edge mode by selecting 2 and then press X and edge. So yes, we got it, but because of the subdivision surface, here is a weird bending. So to fix it, let's go to the vertex mode, and we just need to do the same thing here. To add the corner, we just need to bevel it, Control B and then V. Okay, pretty much good here. Let's separate this cap part from the body. So to do that, just press L to select the loose part and then press P to separate the selection. Okay, so now it's looking good, but it's thin, like it doesn't have any depth to it, and it doesn't have any thickness. So to add the thickness, what we are going to do is we are going to add another modifier, which is solidify. Let's add solidify here. No, let's keep it inward. Let's go to the X-ray mode to see it, and just not this much I want. Let's say 0.005. Yeah, that should work, and we're going to do the same here. Add solidify, and not that much. We don't want that much thickness. Let's do 0.002. Okay, this should do the work. And so yes, we can see that the model is pretty much ready. This is our solid model. If we go to the wireframe, you can see the model is almost ready. Another tip that I always do, that as now this model is still procedural. That means this is a non-destructive model. So I can make it however I want because I have the flexibility. It's not a solid mesh yet. It's still a single line of vertices, and then it's just a bunch of modifier applied to it. So when we are going to apply the modifier, it's gonna turn into a solid mesh. If I show here, just press Ctrl A to apply, and then you can see that we have this whole geometry to deal with. But just to be on the safe side, what I always do is press A, press Shift D, and then press M and new selection. Just name it BKUP. It's just a shortcut that it's a backup. So yes, keep the backup there. And it's just to be on the safe side, so that if you mess up in the next step of the process, if there is always a chance to go back and fix that. So yeah, that's why it's important. So this is the first part that we have completed the modeling, and now we are going to apply the textures. So let's go to the shading tab to do the materials. You can see this is our object that we just modeled. And let's press new here. So yes, what's this? This is a principal BSDF node. This is basically the base node that we are going to work on. This is the base color. So let's say we are going to make something bluish, maybe dark blue. And it should work. This is the metallic. Let's make it a little bit metallic. Let's keep the roughness there. Okay. So in our reference image, if you see, there is a tone to it. Like the lower portion is much darker and the upper portion is brighter. So to do that, what we are going to do, we are going to separate it. First, let's convert this into a solid mesh so we can have much more control to it. And then just select the upper vertex that we need to apply a different material, and then go to the materials and then press the plus icon to add another material and just press assign. So you can see that this material is only affecting the lower portion of this object because this was the base, and then we have created a different vertex group here. It's like not this vertex group in the materials. So these polygons have different materials. So let's add a new one, or what we can do here is just grab it and make a copy, so that we just need to make it a little bit brighter. So this should work, or maybe we can bump down the saturation a little bit. So yes, so here you can see that this is pretty much flat. You have the colors right, but it's quite flat. So to add some depth to the material, what we are going to do is we are going to add a noise texture, and then plug the noise texture into bump map. So bump node, we are going to do it into the height, and then the bump node normals to the normal. So what you can see that it's like you can see that there is a weird thing going on because of the noise texture. Let's go and increase the scale so that it doesn't look that weird, and then decrease the strength also just here. So now what you can see that it's pretty much stretched out. So to fix it, let's enable another add-on called Node Wrangler. It's already enabled on my device. If you haven't enabled the Node Wrangler, just enable it because it's gonna make your life way easier. So just select the node and press Ctrl T. Okay. Let's go to and then you can see it's not that stretched out here also. So yes, I think it should work. Let's come down to this. So yeah, it should work, and then let's copy this and do the same for this one. So yeah, you can see we have a texture here, and let's keep this and this texture same. Okay, we are almost done with the texturing, and what we are going to add next is this label. So to add this label, what we are going to do here is we need to UV unwrap it. As you can see, this label is only applied on this mid portion. Let's separate this middle portion from the rest. Let's select this edge by pressing Alt, and you need to be on the edge selection mode. Alt and just click it, then right click and mark seam. So we are going to do a same for here, mark seam. So what this is going to do is when you select go to face mode and press L, it's only going to select the mid portion, because there is a ending line here, there is an ending line there. We have defined the starting and end. We need to add another seam. Let's select this one. Also make sure to connect them, because if you look closely here, you can see that we have something which are here, yes, that we might miss. So I'm selecting this whole thing and going downwards, and also selecting this and press mark seam. So yes, if now we go to the face mode, press L to select it and press unwrap, it's going to unwrap like a paper. So think it like this. This is the middle portion of our model. It's a cylindrical shape object. This is the starting point, like this is the starting point, and this is the ending point, and this is the middle seam that we have added here. So when we unwrap it, it's gonna unfold it like a paper. So you can see the same here. Because of the bending, here is a bending thing that we can see. But yeah, it's pretty much same. And for the texturing, what we need to do, we need to add a mix shader to it. Mix shader. We're going to duplicate this principal BSDF and plug it into the lower portion. And then what we are going to do is going to take a image texture, and then we are going to plug it into color ramp, and then it's gonna be going to effect. So here let's select the image that we are going to use. In our case, this is the blending visual one. It's loading, and you can see nothing here because these two principal BSDF is basically the same thing. So what we are going to do is we are going to make it up, give it some materialistic, make it completely metallic, and then decrease the roughness. You can see it here. We just need to map it properly. You can see that it's like repeating itself because here it's just put on by default, it's just kept on repeat. We are going to make it clip so it doesn't repeat itself, and then let's add it to here and let's make it a bit smaller. So yes, you can see that we have now got our label here also. So yes, let's go to the edit mode and let's change the render setting to cycles and see. Yes, now you can see it's completely dark because we don't have any light to the scene. So we are going to use HDRI. Let's go to the world, and then from colors, let's add environmental texture, open. I'm going to use this here. You can use any HDRI. For HDRI, you can just download it from HDRI Haven. So yes, now you can see it's pretty much looking good. And we need to do a quick scene setup. Let's add a plane to it. Let's go to front view. Let's rotate it so we can see the label, and then let's add a camera to it. Okay. So let's add the backdrop, and let's do GPU so that it renders faster. And if you have a GPU that support optics or it's NVIDIA, you can just go to systems and then enable optics from here. I have 3060, so it will render faster. So yes, that's a quick one. So add this and go to camera view. Oh, it's pretty much back. Where is the camera? It's inside the bottle. My bad. So go to the front view and then press Control Alt. Let me enable the screencast so that you can see it. So yes, Control Alt 0. It needs to be number pad 0. Normal regular 0 won't work here. Let's make it 0 also. Like this. Okay, we have our basic scene ready. Let's rotate it so that the label is visible. So yes, let's save our project, V2, and so yeah, this is almost done. Let's just do a quick render. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the video. If you have learned something, at least few things here and there, and have understood the technique how to model any cylindrical object, please give a like to this video because it really helps to grow in the YouTube algorithm or that kind of stuff, you know. And if you have any kind of confusion, please comment below. And also feel free to drop any suggestions if you have any. And also let me know that what other kind of stuff that you would like to know. So yeah, till then, take care.